if this were an and, what would be the intersection of these two? There would be none. If this were an and, there would be no intersection, and hence there would be no solution. But this is an or, so we use the union, and so everything for the union, everything that you've graphed, everything is your answer. Okay, so that is your answer right there. It's this interval union or glued with this interval. Okay? There's only one more thing I want to talk about, and how do you write that in interval notation? Well, what is this interval in interval notation? What's my left endpoint? Negative infinity. And we always have infinity, either negative or positive, is always going to be open, comma, and what's my right endpoint? A -2, and that's open. Okay, so this interval notation is that thing. What's this one? 3 included, comma, infinity, positive, open. Now there's one more thing I need to note. You've actually already seen it, but I want to write this as a union of this set of numbers. Remember we talked about unions of sets. This is a set of numbers. This is a set of numbers. The union of them is that. So this set, big U, means union with this set. Yes, when I ask for interval notation, on these problems I will probably ask for a number line graph and the interval notation. So I'm going to want both of these answers. And if it's a union like this, it's very necessary that U is there. If it's an intersection, or if it were an and inequality, it would be no solution. Okay, so there's lots of little things to think about in these problems. There's one more kind of example that I want to do for compound inequalities with or. Let's do x is less than a 2 or x is bigger than a -3. Now I'm doing some simple ones just to demonstrate. There will be, on your homework problems, these things will be expressions and you'll have to solve for x. But you'll get it boiled down to something like this, right? So if x is less than 2, that would be, not including that 2, but go this way. X is greater than a -3, not including the -3, but it would go this way. Okay. And remember my little note that I have here. For a compound inequality with or, everything that you've graphed is your answer. So what have I graphed here? What have I covered up on the number line? I think I heard it. Yeah, I've covered up the entire number line, right? So my answer then is, my endpoint over here is negative infinity, all the way to, all this is covered, all this is covered, all this is covered, all the way to positive infinity. Okay? So you can get an answer that is, another way to say this is, all real numbers. Any questions on this?